Got a question, or my friend wanted to know about a car accident that I was talking about on my other video, on my previous video. So we're going to talk about that. I lived in Phoenix as a GM test driver a number of years ago, and I was driving around in a prototype of a Yukon Denali Tahoe. That's the name that was on the door. There was 3 names on it. Come here. My dog is sniffing donkey poo or something. I don't know what he's doing. But it was a test vehicle. It had 3 different names because they didn't know what it was going to be. It had like a minivan back door on it, you know, because it was just basically duct taped together from a bunch of other cars. Come on. So anyways, driving around town at rush hour, because that's what we did. We drove around town and we tested the sounds of the brakes, you know, as the brakes made noise and stuff. And I'm walking around out in the desert doing this video because I'm bored. So we're driving around testing the brakes and stuff, making sure there's no noise or anything coming from them while we drive. So I'm driving around late day, you know, rush hour time, on a 4-lane road with a center turn lane. You know, no divider, just center turn lane, so you could pull in there and turn left or whatever. So we're cruising down this road. I'm behind this guy who's got no tail lights whatsoever, no brake lights at all. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be behind this guy in traffic because I'm gonna crash into him probably. So I was looking into my blind spot to get around him. And when I turned around and looked forward, this guy's bumper was on my hood. I mean, he was right there. Bam! Slammed into him really hard. I hit the brake pedal so hard that I put it into the firewall. I stuck it in the firewall. The sensors we had on the system skyrocketed off the chart. They don't even know the pedal pressure was supposed to be like max 3,000 psi, and I surpassed that by quite a bit, they think, because the ABS blew up in the car and it sent pieces everywhere. So that was fun. But in the car accident, I sustained some injuries. I dislocated a thumb and my pinky on my left hand. As my hand came off the steering wheel, dislocated the thumb. As it went through the dash, it dislocated the pinky. My right hand was on the center console, and it went into... Damn, wind's blowing again. It went into the CD player. Yeah, I thought maybe I should go check to see if there's a CD in the CD player. You know, so it just went right in there. Boom. You know, that hurt. Peeled off a couple fingernails. Bloodied up my hand a bit. Airbag went off. Both front airbags, the driver and passenger airbags, went off. If you never had an airbag go off on you, they are incredibly loud. Take a dual barrel shotgun and have it go off right next to your head with no ear protection. That's airbags. Yeah, that's a smart idea. Let's put a shotgun shell in your dash so it blows this bag out in your face when you crash. So the bag came out, took all the skin off my arm. Can't find my dog. There he is. Took the skin off my arm from my wrist to my elbow. Shot my sunglasses, these sunglasses, and my hat into the back seat. Yeah, I still have the same sunglasses I had 10 years ago when I lived in Phoenix. I'm a cheap bastard. But it threw all that into the back seat. There was a back seat. It just threw it in the back of the vehicle. And the airbag never touched my face, which was good, but it did mess up my arm. The seatbelt did its job, held me in place, but it fractured my sternum right down the middle, which I later broke by stretching. It was a nice little fracture, and then one day I was like, I feel pretty good, I'm going to stretch, and then it cracked more. So I don't know if it broke completely or if it just, the fracture opened up again. I don't know. Besides the dislocated fingers, fractured sternum, I slipped a disc in a vertebrae in my lower back, which paralyzed me for about a day or so. I had to learn to drive a car with no legs, and it was a stick shift. That was fun. Couldn't feel my legs, but I could still kind of move them and control them, so I had to drive to work and have my boss take me to the hospital. Yes, I could have called an ambulance, but like I said, I'm cheap, so I just had him take me in. And then the doctor was like, all right, well, we'll just kind of like ease it back into place, and hopefully he'll be okay. And says, He's like, you're just paralyzed from the swelling, because, you know, you slipped a disc in a vertebrae and it swelled up, pinched your nerves, and that's why you're paralyzed. So, did that, you know, two big male nurses, one holding my arms, one holding my legs, kind of pulled me apart, and then he pushed the vertebrae back in. Felt good. Yeah. Loved it. Loved it. So much pain. I don't know if anybody out there's ever had, you know, a back injury, but God, that was phenomenal. Almost lost consciousness, but I didn't. And you know, so that was my first car accident. Not a fun trip. Spent a long time in physical therapy to learn to walk again. I mean, I knew how to walk, but I had to change the way I walked to keep from paralyzing myself again. I can't hold myself up with my lower back. I have to use my stomach. My stomach keeps my upper body upright. And somebody's going to say, well, that's probably wrong. You should use your lower back muscles. My lower back muscles are strong enough to pull my spine apart. So, I found a pipe sticking on the ground. I don't want that to happen, because I don't want to be paralyzed. I like riding my quad. I like going for hikes. I like being able to stand up, you know. So I do a lot of supporting my upper body with my stomach muscles and not so much my back. So yeah. He's like, well, how's that affect your fibromyalgia? Well, at the time the accident happened, I didn't know I had fibromyalgia, but it did affect me. It made me hurt a lot, you know. So yeah, it hurt. I don't know how to say it affected me. I mean, it just causes pain forever, you know. The pain never goes away. It'll just always be there. And it just makes it worse, because you had pain before, but now you got pain because you have an injury. So, yeah. That's good stuff. Alright. We will cut right there. Cut it. If you like the videos, hit like, hit subscribe, send it to your friends, put it on Facebook, you know, do whatever you need to do with it. To tweet it, retweet it, tweet it out somewhere, you know, send it to people. Get people to come and check it out. If you know somebody with fibromyalgia, send them over, you know, have them ask me questions, you know, all that good stuff, right? Alright, cool. We'll see you around.